All right. Welcome to the 411 Sports World Show. I am Mr. 411, and in the studio with me is the NFC Welterweight Champion, Dr. Madeline Schellman. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. It's great to have you back too. You've been in a couple times already, and it's always a pleasure to have you back. And we could talk NFC, Muay Thai, everything. Everything all under there, all the categories there, because in the sports world. And so, with you being champ, we want to bring that, make sure the champ is here. And so today we will talk about what your reign has been like, what's it like being champ, and some of your future plans and everything in between. And man, I can't wait for that. But before we do that, I want to welcome everybody here. Today is October the 20th, 2024. Make sure you type in the phrase 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. Make sure you type in 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. We're also on TikTok. Make sure you follow us there as well. Mr. 411, MisterForone, Mr. 411. That's on TikTok. Also Instagram, same thing. Mr. 411. And if you have a fancy phone, which I do not, you also can scan the QR code and that'll take you straight there too. I know, Madeline, I know you have those fancy phones, so you can do that. Uh,
I do. A little bit fancy.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, look, you have a big event coming up real soon. We're gonna talk about that. But first of all, just let everybody know how you're doing.
Yeah, it's been a busy time these past few months, and since I had my last fight, last time I was on here, that was back in May, and since then I've been training really hard in preparation for this upcoming fight, and in preparation for more international fighting, which I'm sure we'll dive into, and then also outside of fighting, I finished up school finally. I've been in college for 11 years, and I'm finally done, so that's a great feeling. So it's been a busy time, but a really exciting time for sure.
All right, very good, very good. All right. Well, hey, you are the welterweight champion in NFC, and congratulations on that. I remember being there when you did that. It was amazing to see in real time, and there it is right there, that belt, beautiful belt there, champion.
Mhm.
Uh, wow, look at that. So, what is it like? What has the reign been like for you?
Yeah, it's been interesting. I mean, it's exciting. I remember the first time I ever saw fighting in person, and one of the guys out of our gym, the one who fought most recently before me, he won a belt, and I was like, that is so cool. Like he's awesome. I can't imagine being at that level. And now I have one, and now I'm having an opportunity to get another one, to defend my title. And that is, I just never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that that's something that I could even do or want to do. And here I am, and I've done it, and I'm going to do it again. But then also just what it does to people around me is interesting. Like my gym just lifts me up so much, and they're so supportive, and the kids make me feel like a little celebrity. Some days I walk in there and I feel bad. I feel like I distract them, and that's is an exciting feeling to have. And then people just in the fight community who I don't even know me now. And so it's just been a little, like, 15-minute sort of experience that's been really interesting to have.
Yeah, very good, very good. What do you do with your belt most of the time?
It sits over. Actually, I'm in my at home office, and it's just sitting on this ledge over here. And so I have a couple of things in my office that are fight related, like on display, and I kind of use it as is especially helpful when finishing my dissertation. That I can look up and see these things that I've done, and that if I can do that, I can finish my dissertation. Or in work, if I'm having a tough day at work, I got that belt, I got those
Right.
medals, whatever. If I can do that, that's pretty scary. So I can get through this thing. So it is kind of a nice reminder that I got this. But I do
There
look
you
at it
go.
a lot.
Yeah, great symbolism there with the belt. And do a lot of kids have they asked for it? Have they asked to try to wear it or things like that?
No, not at the gym. The day of the fight, though, there were a lot of kids and people who wanted to take pictures with me after I won, and let the kids wear the belt because that's just cool. Like, why? I don't want to wear it. They want to wear it. So that was very cool to have kids who I don't even know coming in and wanting to get pictures with me and with the belt. So, but no, the kids at the gym, they just are so happy to see me, and it feels really, really cool. It's really cool when kids like you. It feels like you made it
Yeah.
when kids
Yeah.
like
There you go. That's that validation there.
yeah.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, you mentioned that you are preparing. You have to defend that title, and then you say you're winning another one. What's the other one?
So, well, it's the same title. It'll just be another physical belt. Like I'll get
Okay.
two when I successfully defend. So yeah, same title, same rule set and everything. But yeah, so I've been preparing for a title defense, and that's been it's been great. The preparation, it's really exciting. We've worked on a lot of things that I have known how to do, but it's just kind of refining it and making it even more sophisticated or more natural for me. So just really drilling in some details and strength, working on a lot of strength and power. And so I hope to showcase all of that in my defense.
Okay. And that leads us right into training camp. And you train at the Megalodon Gym, and there's a website there, www.megalodongym.com. We want to give a shout out to Scott Hicks, the founder of the gym, and also big shout out to Casey. And let's see if we can make sure he's on here too, give him his props. Casey Baines, co-founder as well. And so, anything you want to say about those two gentlemen?
Yeah, well, I love talking about Megalodon and my coaches. Like Megalodon is a family, and the people we have there are just so incredible. Like I have our coaching staff, and the way they prepare us is incredible. So Scott, unfortunately, is no longer with us, but his legacy lives on through all of us. He is an incredible force in all of our lives, and without him, the people who are still there would likely not be there to train me. And so I owe a lot to Scott, even though I only worked with him for a short amount of time personally. And then Casey, he's like a father for me in this martial arts world. And I'll tell you a funny story. In this training camp, Casey is an instructor in law enforcement, and he brought in this headgear that's for baton training. So it's like pretty thick, intense headgear, and it has a cage on the front because they're whacking each other. He's like, look, I want you to elbow me as hard as you can in the head. Because you can't normally do that with a person, until fight time. So he put that headgear on and just let me wail full force on him. And he was like, yeah, I'm really glad I had that headgear. And it's just,
Oh my goodness.
it was all about it. It was really is classic Casey, like wanting me to giving me a good opportunity to work stuff and putting himself out there to do it. So grateful for him and for everyone.
Yeah, very creative training there. Um,
Yeah.
and shout out to Casey for putting himself at harm's risk like that because man, uh, from what I've seen from you, I wouldn't want to take one of those blows. So I mean, even with a helmet on like that.
Yeah,
So yeah,
he said it was good, and he'll do it again probably. So I'm grateful for that. A couple other
okay,
people did put it on, so thank you for other people who also wore the headgear and withstood some strong hits. So I appreciate that.
all right, okay. Training. How what's the normal time frame or the estimate time frame of training camps for most of the MMA artists fighters?
Yeah, I've experienced, or I know of a few different ways that people do it. I'll say that in my experience and kind of what we do at our gym is you get a fight that we try not to do like maybe 2 months out at the most, so that you have a few months to kind of increase the training and the cardio. And so I've had this fight. I think we've known about it for 3 months, and so I've been for the past 3 months preparing. And in that, that's when the camp starts. And so it really, it is a lot cardio focused because we want to be able to train and have high cardio performance for a long period of time, so that when you get to the fight, adrenaline and just the experience and everything, it's going to drop your energy big time. And so you still have to have enough in the tank to still fight. So we train to be able to fight up here so we can fight here when the time comes. Because we won't be able to if you're only training for 3-minute rounds, you're not going to be able to do 3-minute rounds. You have to be able to do like 30 minutes straight of fighting. It's so we kind of ramp up to that, and that's our general structure, is getting up to a really long period of time. And then in the last week, I love fight week. Fight week is the best part of fight camp because you can't go hard in fight week. You can't get hurt.
That's the best part. Okay.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in a position where you don't have time to recover. And so I'm about to enter fight week, which means that it's going to slow down a bit. And so we're still going to get cardio, but it's just going to be a little bit shorter. Like we're just, keeping me warm basically. But up until now, like this last week has been the heaviest week of training. And so it's like pad round stuff and just technique, but also you incorporate sparring into that. And so sparring, we can flow spar. That's like lighter sparring. Like people aren't going to get hurt in flow sparring. Typically it's just looking for timing and trying things out. We'll do that the whole time. But hard sparring, you want to get some of that maybe a month out, but not much closer than that, because you really don't want to risk injury. But you do need to get those hard sparring experiences before, while you're in fight camp, before you get to the actual fight. So through all that part, easy part now.
Yeah, the easy part now. What can you reveal about eating? Do you enjoy like would you have to, your diet and everything, or what does all that consist of? If you can reveal.
Yeah. Well, I can reveal it because there's not much to it for me. Unfortunately for Casey really wishes I did a lot better. But for this fight is at my fight, my walk around weight. So I don't have to cut weight or anything for this. I walk around at around 170. And so this is a manageable weight for me easily. But I eat pretty much like whatever. I eat way too many cookies and ice cream and sugar and things. And Casey gives me a hard time about it all the time. But when I'm cutting weight, for a fight that is at a lower weight, which I've done, it's just kind of managing that a little bit more and working with, I do have a strength coach who is also kind of conditioning and a little bit nutrition coach for me. And so I talk to him about things, and there are a few guys at the gym who are really good with nutrition. And so when it does get to those times that I have to lose weight, I do have really good resources and people there who support me in that.
Okay. Hey, we have a question here from Melanie. Do you wear knee pads or shin guards during fight camp? And thank you, Melanie, for your comment, and thank you for subscribing to the page
Good question.
and sharing.
Yeah, that's my sister. Hey, Mel. So during fight camp, like in training, we will wear gloves, and if we're throwing elbows, we'll wear elbow pads. In fight camp, we do typically wear, like when we're sparring, we'll wear shin guards because, again, we're not trying to cause any serious injury. Most of the time we do just flow. We never do wear knee pads. Our knees are always exposed. And so, and as anyone who has watched me fight or heard me talk about fighting, I love knees. And so we do capitalize on that. But then come fight time, this fight, I'll only have gloves and elbow pads. The shins will be open. So that's a slight difference from most of the training. We don't train with no shin guards most of the time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, a great question there.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Okay. All right. So we talked about your training camp. Big shout out there to Megagon Gym. Let's talk about something. 3 letters here. PhD.
Yeah, that's so I've been in school, like I said, I've been in college for 11 years at the University of Georgia. I did my bachelor's, master's, and PhD. And so it's been really great to have that finished. The dissertation was kind of hanging over my head for a couple of years, and I finally got it done over the summer. And that's actually been really interesting in relation to my fight because the owner of the NFC, David Oblas, has been super into it. Like he, more than anyone, addresses me as Dr. Schellman. And he thinks it's so cool that he, when he was making our fight poster, he said, please, let's put Dr. Madeline Schellman on there. I was like, sure, if you think that's a good idea, that's fine with me. And he said, yeah, definitely. And so now it really does kind of appear to be like a chosen fight name. So I think some people don't know that I do have a PhD, and it's not like I'm trying to call myself the doctor or something. Like, I don't have an official fight name. But now, especially with Essence's fight name, it looks like I chose that. So it has kind of been funny, but at my gym they call me Dr. Mad Dog, so that's like the unofficial fight name. But
Okay. 'Cause I remember Magdog, now we have Dr. Magdog. Well, congratulations, by the way, on your accomplishment there. All right, well deserved, well earned. And like you said, when you take a look at that title in your office there, it motivates you to get to that point. You know what I mean? So and to push you through, all the way through the tape. And so, just like you do with your training camp, you did the same thing here for your with your PhD. So, congratulations to you there. You
thank
did mention that you're welcome, and you mentioned that you graduated from the University of Georgia, and we was just talking about that on our triple option college football review show just a few minutes ago. We was talking about University of Georgia with a big victory in Austin, Texas, over the Texas Longhorns, who were currently ranked at that time number one in the country. And so, in our debate there, we think Georgia should move up into the standings. They'll probably move around that three range, somewhere in there in the nation, and more than likely the number one team in the SEC at this point. Do you agree with that?
All right, so I will admit I am not the most up to date or diehard football fan. I kind of hear tangentially, so I did not watch the game, but I have heard a lot about it. And yeah, dogs on top, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Go dogs.
There
I don't
you
know.
go. You said it right. Okay.
Go
There you go. All
dogs.
right. And again, Dr. Madeline Schellman defending your title this upcoming weekend. We have another question too. Let's get that up here. George Dunwoody
Yeah.
has a question here. What are the NFC records of the fighters?
Good question. I know mine. I actually don't know Essence's record. I've seen her fight a few times, but I don't know her record. I'm 4-0, but one of those was not an NFC fight. I did one in Daytona. So in Muay Thai, I'm 4-0. But yeah, I don't actually know her record
Yeah.
or anyone
And
else's
that's
record
okay.
on the card, but there are going to be some other really good fights on the card. So
Oh, absolutely. That card is stacked. And just like the last event, I mean, matter of fact, NFC puts on stacked cards. I mean, and I remember being at one where there was wrestling
yeah.
and included, and that was a wrestling tournament included in there. I was like, wow, this is awesome. So yeah, NFC is where it's at. And again, like you say, you're focusing on you. So you can't keep your eye off the target, off the ball. And so you're focusing in on where you are, where you're rated, and look, undefeated sounds good. All right, thank you, George, for your question there.
Thanks,
We
George.
appreciate it. All right, so hey, the fight. All right, so let's we'll throw a couple images up. Again, there's not um like I say, you're trying to train and prepare for your opponent. This is
Mhm.
going to be a anticipated bout. I think I know where you're predicting where you would end up against the walking weapon. 'Cause that is an interesting name, the walking weapon. That sounds deadly, and so I know you're not going to take your opponent lightly at all,
Mhm.
especially with a name like that. And look at there, you're ready to go. And there's that elbow right there. Boom. All right. So yes, we're ready for it. You don't take your opponents lightly by no means. So,
No.
what are you anticipating next weekend?
No, I mean I've been training really hard. We're always training just to level up. Like every fight, it's like getting better and better at just my game. Like yes, opponents come, opponents go. You kind of look at things that you know they've done, and you train for that a little bit. But it's really just in every fight camp, just upping my game. And I think I've increased my game in several significant ways that I'm really excited to hopefully come out. I think my dad gives me a lot of criticism in my fights. Well, no, I shouldn't say a lot, but he's like, you need to hit more. I'm like, Dad, I know how to hit. I hit all the time. It just doesn't come out of my fights as much. Like, obviously, anyone who's watched me knows I clinch a lot. I get up close and I knee like that. It's been what's worked so far, but I do have a lot of other stuff that we've worked on. So yeah, for this fight, I want a good fight. I want a fun, challenging fight. Like, I expect her to come out with really heavy punches. I think she's strong. And I know she likes to punch. She has a good hook. And so I just really am expecting a good fight. And yeah.
Very good, very good. Hey, you can get your tickets at www.nfcfighting.com. Grab your tickets because it will sell out. and those tables sell out as well. And so if you gonna be in the Atlanta area, in Buford, Georgia, is that correct? If
Yes.
you're gonna be in that area, make sure you attend because you're definitely gonna get your money's worth, and it's gonna be some great fights there. Um, can you talk about the different type of fights that fans will be able to witness?
Yeah, you'll. I actually don't know the full card, like who all is on it. I know of
Yeah.
several of the fights, but you will absolutely see Muay Thai. Our fight is an advanced amateur Muay Thai fight, and so that's where we have elbows and knees and kicks and punches and all of that. We don't go to the ground though. Then you'll see MMA fights where it does go to the ground. They'll probably have more MMA fights than Muay Thai fights.
Hmm.
And then, like you were saying, Mr. 411, we do occasionally have some wrestling, but I don't know if they're doing that on this card. It just, I think, depends on who they've got and who's around. But and NFC has put on just even a jiu-jitsu match just in the middle of all the MMA. They'll throw out a jiu-jitsu match, and so you could see any range of all of the combat there.
All right. Okay. And very good. And hey, let's talk about what else you have on tap. In as far as your career, as far as in the combat sports. So, what's going on in Indonesia?
Yeah, so last fall I went to Saudi Arabia and fought in a pancration tournament, which was essentially MMA with like a slightly different rule set. And then this year with kind of a similar, like the same people but a different organization. I've been invited to fight in the Gamma Worlds event in Indonesia, and so this will be a 4-day MMA tournament. Every day is a fight, and that is a full three-minute round fight with MMA rules. And so I'm just really excited to have this opportunity again to travel and represent internationally and train with other people from the United States. Like we have a huge team, we have a stacked team. Like the people we are bringing, we should win like team awards for it. Like it is a great team. We have some professional athletes who I've seen fight recently who are just outstanding, and I couldn't be more excited for what we have the potential to do over there. And we will bring back gold. I will bring back gold. So
Yeah, yeah,
it's going to be great.
I believe it. And speaking of gold, there's a question here. Kingsley Dunwoody. Good
Uh,
morning, Kingsley. All right. How many medals have you won? Great
that's
question.
that's my sister and my niece. Hey guys, how many medals have I won? So when you win in the NFC, they give you a medal every time. So if we're talking about Muay Thai, I've won 3 Muay Thai medals, 1 Muay Thai belt. The fight I did in Daytona, they did not give me a medal for that one. Just not their thing, I guess. But I do have that win. And then I do have a handful from jiu-jitsu stuff as well. Well, more than a handful, but then I got the medal in Saudi. So yeah, I'm just racking them up.
Yeah, I see. All right. Thank you for your question. All right. Wow. Yeah, you're just racking it up. And you're going to continue to do so next week as well, uh, from my perspective here. And we definitely look forward to it. Any closing remarks before we get out of here?
I mean, just as always, I'm just so grateful for all the people who are in my life and who believe in me and support me. And I know there are going to be so many people at the fight there, and that really does mean the world. Like it changes the fight and makes it it makes it really truly super special to have all the people. And so just thank you so much to training partners, coaches, family, friends, everybody. It means a lot to me.
Absolutely. All right. Agree. Way to close it out there. And we definitely looking forward to all your winnings and what you do in this country and among around the world now. Because see, now you're going from just having this dream and just this idea of being in the combat sports to now it's taking you, across the globe. And so definitely proud of you. Definitely appreciate you being on and allowing 411 Sports World to be a part of your journey. That means a lot, and we look forward to doing this again, and also seeing you soon. And, and,
Yes.
and
Yes.
absolutely. And once again, don't forget about the fight coming up next Saturday, October 26th. The doors open at 5 p.m. and there's going to be a contest there as well. It's going to be fun. It's a lot of action going on. It's gonna be a fun time.
Halloween fight night, those are always a good time. The NFC does it up really well. The owner, everyone will be dressed up, so it'll be a good time.
All right, maybe I'll be dressed up as Mr. 411.
Costume, if that's who you are, though.
I'll dress up as a Muay Thai fighter
Okay, all
and,
right.
and
Get
jump
him
in the
some
cage.
flashy shorts.
And I jump in the cage during someone's match and see what happens. Uh, that'd be a sight to see. All right. Well, we thank everybody for tuning in today. You can always watch the re-air here, or you can watch it many times you want on 41 Sports World Network on YouTube. And Madeline, I'm sure you'll be able to put it on your pages as well. We appreciate everybody who tuned in, all the comments, the likes, the shares, and all that good stuff. And once again, I want to thank you again. Can't thank you enough for being on and taking the time to do this on your Sunday and on your rest day with all this training you have going on. So we look forward to seeing you, and you're gonna do well next week.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
All right, anytime. All right, we the next time you come on, now there'll be two belts
Two
that you have
belts.
to
One on
put
each
on the
shoulder.
screen.
Yep.
And then three, and then four, and then five. Then you have to have people come down to the ring during your ring walk carrying your belts.
Yeah.
It's gonna get crazy here.
At that
All
point, I
right.
think we got to start talking to Dana White about a contract.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Mhm.
I know he's out there and always looking for talent. So hey, the world's yours right now.
Thank you.
All right. Well, everybody have a great one. We'll catch you later. Have a good day.
Bye.